Hey everybody, welcome to CBSI Presents Tales from the Flipside, episode number 60. I'm Paul Dino, and if you are looking for any sort of comic information, contests, daily information, great articles, check us out at comicbookinvest.com. Facebook, Instagram, we are everywhere. Boys, introduce yourselves.
What's up, guys? I'm Brian, podcast for hire. I just want to say thanks to the guys again for letting me join this fun and igniting that podcast craziness. So if any of you guys haven't had a chance to check it out yet, go check out the Bogcast, BOGCAST with Keith and Brian. We filmed our 7th episode last Sunday. We've got 5 episodes out right now. It kind of highlights the Phoenix area, but as of right now, it's kind of fun. So if you enjoy art, music, actors, local stuff, check it out and check out Absolute Geek Podcast. So thanks, guys.
Hey, John Z. Way up the list tonight because we're a little shy of some people, but that's all right. Just to throw in something different this week and make up for Dino not being here, I'll go ahead and throw in some gluten-free beer reviews. As recently found out I am celiac, so that blows. But they make beer now, so that's much better. If you Google search gluten-free, the third thing on the list is beer. So we know what is important.
That sucks, though, Z. I'm sorry to hear that, but I know a few people with it, and I know it's rough. It's Ben S. I got 3 days till I will be in Chicago for C2E2. Anybody who shows up, please find me, and we will talk.
I think Ozzy is still on the waiver wire on that one.
I think the first person to find you gets to pick the number 1 book for that week's top 10, right?
Oh yeah, well that's I guess I'm not sure how I got to figure that one out.
Am I taking over?
I guess I need to. Yeah, I didn't even think about that because that comes out Friday. So
crow. We already did that. So
put up the very first top 10.
Yeah, right. I'm really jealous, man. You're going to that. I was looking into that, and it looks like a fun time.
I would like to know what are you getting graded?
Well, I am definitely going to get the ASM Black Cat, that first JSC variant.
No press needed.
No, I think that one's a 9.8. As is. I'm going to definitely get. What else was I was going to get? I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the Captain Marvel one because they're debuting the little labels, and you can get the Captain Marvel label. So I think that might actually look pretty good because it's a Granov picture up in the label, and then it'll be the Granov Captain Marvel. So that might actually look pretty good. And then I'm going to definitely get the She-Ra variant, the Dodson. I need to look at the other ones and see if I was going to try and send them all out and get them all pressed ahead of time, but I have just been way too busy and have no time to do it. So, oh well, I'll just send them in when I get back.
They're doing an on-site on there, right?
Yeah,
on one of the few events.
Oh, nice.
Their return time is pretty good right now, if I remember correctly, right?
If you
even if you're sending them in,
if you do standard, it moves pretty fast. Modern Fast Pass is moving pretty fast. I've heard as fast as you're getting them back in 2 weeks, not just there 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I think if you do not spend the money and you go economy or you go modern slow track, you got to wait.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to send off a nice chunk of Modern Fast Pass, so we'll see how long that takes.
If you're doing modern and not fast pass, then you just assume you want to wait 6 months. I mean, you may not be that long, but assume that and you'll feel better.
To be honest, I always look at it as if I'm sending it in, if I can't pay an extra $9, then it's probably not worth sending in.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm not waiting 6 months for a book to come back.
I didn't do the crossover. I did some modern crossovers, and I didn't check Fast Pass, but I wasn't thinking. I was thinking it was a different track. But I think once they're out of the case, they go in the same track. So I probably regret that decision. But they're still, according to somebody tracking the time, they said it's still only 5-6 weeks on them. So it's probably not terrible.
Are there any exclusives or anything else you're chasing at C2E2 then? You have a plan or what's up?
Yeah, I looked at the exclusives. Hold on, let me pull them up here. Now, I don't know anything about Valiant, but I did see that there is I guess that Toyo Harada. I guess he's got a new series come out. Z, do you know anything about that? Because I know you like the Turok stuff, but that's not even Valiant, is it?
No, I mean I watched the old Valiant. I haven't dabbled much in the new. I mean, I know there is a market for it. There are ones I understand better. And I don't do the Wednesday Warrior, so I think a lot of it's in those new variants. And if you don't got to hook up, it's not worth it.
Huh.
Yeah, I think my computer just froze, or my internet is really bad. So
still better than Devo's.
Yeah. Shout out to Matt.
Yeah. So, anyways, I did see that there's a Toyo Harada Virgin or something like that. That's, I guess, numbered to 100.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I don't know anything about Valiant, but I'm thinking if there's only 100 of them, and I think the buy-in's just $25,
worth it.
So I'm thinking I might just go ahead and try and get that. I know I saw KRS and Unknown have got some of their show exclusives or whatever that are there. I don't know about those. Those seem kind of,
yeah.
I mean, there's too many of them, and after seeing what Unknown did with a lot of their things anymore, I just don't buy any of those print runs on any of those for the mainstream Marvel type things or whatever. But yeah, I mean, there are things I'm probably going to look at. I'm definitely going to go see Art Germ.
You're gonna say, "Hey, I'm the guy that you did the sketch for."
Yeah, I'll bring my sketch with me and be like, "Hey, remember doing this? It was your first Facebook Live." Can you believe that's been like almost 3 years?
Wow.
No way.
Yeah, I know, that's ridiculous.
Speaking of Art Germ, just because it's a good segue, that Catwoman cover. Wow.
Oh, that's a sexy one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been a fan of Art Germ lately, but Jesus, did he knock it out of the park with that one?
That's the retro one from her first cover. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
It's all leg.
Yeah, man. And just the homage to the Batman 42, was it? I think 42. I like stuff like that when it's done really good, and man, did he do it really good. And his Detective 1000 retro one was just as good, I think. But those two lately have been really good. Really stood out for me and his stuff.
Speaking of Batman, we skipped pickups.
No, we're just kind of dragging them out, man.
Yeah. Well, I got a Batman pickup. I have 2 Batman pickups. So I work, if you don't know, I work in the medical field. And so I found on eBay through a snipe in, I'd let it go. And next thing I knew, I got a little chime that I'd won it. Detective Comics 579 in 9.8.
Nice.
That is cool.
Yeah. So it's this surgeon who's about to cut into somebody, and in the background is Batman busting through the window.
That's cool.
If I could hang it up at work without getting in trouble, I would, but they'll probably frown upon this.
In your new cube?
Yeah, my new cube. Yeah.
Are you moved in yet?
Today was our first day back, and
Have the turtles been freed?
What's that?
Have the turtles been freed?
No, it's extremely limited space. I think they made these new ones so small, so if they let someone, Probably, but if they let someone go, that they don't have as much stuff, so they can get them out in one trip. Because I was a solid 3 trips until they made us downsize.
That's why you bring them, man. You just feel like it's too much work to get rid of me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I don't know what I'll be able to display now. I don't know, kind of nervous about it, but it is what it is. It's all good. It was interesting. It's like the first day of high school because there were no assigned cubicles per se. So some people were fighting over cubicles or desks. Now they're not really cubicles anymore. And it was just comical to watch. So whatever. But I also picked up this. Is my only other pickup tonight. But I scored the Batman Detective Comics 27 Oreo Comics giveaway.
Oh, nice.
In a little 9/8 grade. So I think that will it's a good little hold.
Way less Tech 27 reprints than Superman's.
Yeah, Walker had mentioned that the Loot Crate reprint for 27, and just while I was searching around, I found this one, and I was like, the price was too good compared to other sales that had happened, and so I snatched it up.
I think that's a fair buy.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'll hold it for, but it's a solid hold for sure. That's all I got. Anybody else pick something up?
I'll go. Why not? So I don't know. Got a couple of random things this week. I bought, as always, some more Mexican Spidey. You would have seen this one a few weeks ago. Matt had displayed it, and I did not have this particular one. I paid a little bit of a premium because it was after the kind of jump in these books recently. But it's the one with the blood cover, which he had researched and determines the first blood on a Spider-Man comic cover. So kind of a cool, unique little niche. So I like that one. Adding one more to the pile. The seller threw in for me this Mac Division Iron Fist. Not a key or anything exciting, but just a cool kind of cover. I do love when they use the crazy colors. If you're not looking at it, it's got the pink and a blue and yellow and orange background. I mean, they loved the vibrant colors, so that's always cool to kind of see. So, bought a Golden Age lot from a dealer friend of mine just because I saw a couple books that I liked. This one's Tim Holt 27. For those of you who don't know, this is a series that the first Ghost Rider originated in, the Western style Ghost Rider. This particular one's it's got the red mask and it's got the straw man, which kind of is a little bit of a foreshadowing of maybe the Scarecrow. So I thought that was kind of cool cover on it.
Oh, I thought there was a Wizard of Oz homage.
I could go with that. I just thought it was a little different. The book I actually bought it for is this one, which is just all sorts of disturbing. If you want to Google it, it's called Boy Loves Girl number 27. It is, I'm going to go, it's marketed as a romance comic maybe, but it looks a little bit like crime. It's got kind of like a circus performer girl in like a something you do on the trapeze maybe. Got a clown picture in the background, which, I love. And then it's got some creepy guy that she's yelling, "No, get away, don't touch me." So, Sleepy John variant, if you will. But I just thought it was so disturbing and so just so wrong that I kind of needed to buy it. So
the clown in the background really makes it.
It does, right? It's one of those covers you got to see. I don't think my description does it justice. So, feel free to tune in on YouTube or just Google it. It took me a little time to find it. I haven't seen any sales for it. I don't know if I paid too much, paid too little, but it's one of those I just had to add to the pile, I did get my CGC first batch of crossover books back. I thought I could go through those real quick. Some of these are Ozzy's, so I'll share those too. I turned in a CBCS 7.5 Doom Patrol 99. It came back a 7. I was okay with that. I mean, to me, that's a half grade that is negligible. But I just want to kind of get it in the CGC case because, as you know, I've taken a bath on the CBCS lately. So I went ahead and did that. The other one that was kind of mine that I knew I was risking was I've got a Brave and the Bold 54, First Team Titans. You guys know I have at one point had a lot of these. I'm actually down to just 3 at the moment. This was a CBCS 8.5. When I sent it in, they said it's got a shot at an 8 or an 8.5. It unfortunately went to an 8. Not thrilled with that. Took a bit of a bath on dollar-wise. There's about a $300 job between an 8 and an 8.5 for some reason. So for those of you that don't pay attention, that seems to be the break point. Anything above 8.5, it starts to really, really climb. This one actually is one that stayed the same grade. Just it was in one of the Rivet CBCS cases, and I just was tired of looking at it. So I had sent in my Plastic Man No Number #1, which is the skull cover.
Beautiful.
It was a 2.5 CBCS. It was a 2.5 here.
Oh, that's good.
They had said it was, pretty risky on. It might gain a grain, might not, and I was like, that's fine. It doesn't. Truthfully, in that kind of book in that grade, it doesn't matter much. This one is actually probably a much nicer cover, except somebody was touching ink, and there's 3 kind of ink smudges on it, fingerprint style thing. So, still a cool book, tough to find. I've seen a few sales, but it just doesn't pop up. And Plastic Man's on the movie mill. It's got a skull cover. You can't really go wrong with that. This one Paul will enjoy. He will be maybe inspired. I went ahead and crossed over my Legion of Superheroes 23. Was a CBCS, probably one of the very first books I graded, but it was in the original cut case. I thought it would look better in the shiny new CGC case. Honestly, that's the only reason I did it. Plus, I paid for standard because I felt a little hinky sending it in as modern, and I wanted the pre-screen on it because they were offering it at the time, and they said it looked like a 9.8, so I went ahead and risked it. I don't know if I would have done it otherwise because it's just too much risk reward between 9.8 and 9.6, but I'm happy with the outcome.
So you sent in the slab, right? And then they graded, they eyed it before they cracked it for you.
Yeah, they are not doing that now. I imagine you can pay for it, but they were doing standards and another category. They were doing it for free. So they would send you an email. They'd get your books and send you an email on the ones that were in the categories that they would pre-screen. They say, this is our assessment. If they need to recommend a press, they would do that. If they didn't, they didn't. I sent in 4 books you saw plus 3 for Ozzy in the standard tier. I probably could have snuck a couple of them in the modern, but if they're already graded, it's harder for me to kind of fudge the values that much. And I did want the pre-screening. But they sent me a thing. They said, this is what we think. This one could go down a bit. This one could go up. Their assessments were pretty much spot on. Nothing really came back out of their range of suggesting. And nothing really surprised me. Like I said, that an 8 and an 8.5 it's a crapshoot. Sometimes it just depends on the grade of the day. So went ahead and did that and went with it. Overall, was pretty happy with the process. Now I don't know that they're doing any pre-screening. You may be able to pay for it, but still a cool service to get it going. This is one of Ozzy's. He did a Fantastic Four 45 first Inhumans. It was a CBCS 6, came back a CGC 6. Truthfully, it just made it from an unsellable book to a sort of sellable book. But I mean, nobody will. You take a cold book and you put it in a non-CGC case, and you just are dead. This one, he actually took a small hit on, but it's not surprising. Got a Silver Surfer 3 first Mephisto. This is now a CGC 6.5. It was a PGX 7.0. Just the buy-in on the PGX and taking a half grade point on that, he's still probably way ahead on this one. And then his last one, which I could have probably snuck this under the modern tier, but I said I wanted to kind of just get the pre-screen. Did a New Mutants 98 that was a CBCS Rivet label. 9.6 came back a CGC 9.6. So overall, pretty cool process. Happy with it. Got a discount in changing these books over. I mean, the standard tier was $30 versus cracking them and pressing them and paying $60 again. So I thought that was well worth it. on those couple moderns, I paid an extra couple bucks to get a pre-screen assessment, basically moving them to the standard tier. I do have, I think, 6 modern books between Ozzy and I there. And I have one that needed a press. And yes, it beat Reagan's book that's been sitting there for 6 months. Unfortunately, it's stuck in postal hell in the registered mail system. I should have it next week. And it was well worth the wait. So I look forward to sharing that one next week.
Mel was wondering what your turnaround times were.
I missed the email, so I lost myself a few days. But I think on the standards that didn't need a press, they were there under 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks and a couple days. The moderns are sitting there at about week 4, so I expect them to turn in the next week or two, but we'll see. The one that needed a press was through standard. I had asked them if I needed a fast pass it to get it moving. They said no, on standard tier it's moving really good. It was probably out less than 5 days there and back and graded and moved. Like, it shipped less than 3 days, and the ones that didn't get a press. So we're very happy with that. And for the first beer review, I'm drinking some Omission Brewery Pale Ale, crafted to remove gluten. I would say it's average, nothing special, but we are living in a significantly choiceless thing, so it does have a little bit of hops, enough flavor to not be sad about drinking it. So we'll keep you posted as I try 3 or 4 more beers tonight.
Did you just get a variety pack, the gluten-free variety pack?
My wife has really been feeling sorry for me, and I've been milking it maybe a little bit. So she went out and got me 5 different 6-packs of beer to brighten my spirits.
Well, that's good.
Very cool. Ben, you got anything?
I bought absolutely nothing this week. I did find, which this is like a Paul thing, but I took my backpack from when I drove over to IndyCon last year. So what was that? Was that Easter?
Mm-hmm.
Was that Easter weekend? So I never get books signed. So I was like, there's a few guys there. I might want to just go and get signed or whatever. So I threw some books in a backpack, and I just pulled out the backpack to take with me this week, and all those books were still in there. And somebody was asking for if I had any of those Savage Tale Virgin covers, and I still have it. It's still it was sitting in my box, label or windowed and everything, ready to get signed by Sidem, and yep. So that was like a pickup, really, because I didn't even realize it was still in there.
At least your bag didn't get stepped on or bend the books or anything.
No, my backpack's been sitting under my desk for a year. I just didn't. I don't take it anywhere. I take my soccer backpack is what I use for almost everything anymore, and this one my travel backpack, because I just don't travel much anymore. So it's just sat under my desk, and yeah. So
I had a very similar experience with some books from Baltimore that I just forgot were in there, and went and take the back to a local show, and I'm like, oh, hey, look at all these.
I had a very similar experience coming back from the Canadian border, but we won't get into that.
Brian, any updates on the Ghost?
No updates on the Ghost
or anything now?
No. I think I'm good. I'm hoping I'm good. I went and got some
Sage.
Sage, that's what it is. I swear to God, I went and got some sage. I burnt some sage. I got a friend. She's like a real hippie type, chick that's into that stuff, and so she gave me like crystals and stuff. So I put a couple crystals up. So I'm hoping that that kind of worked. So, but I do got an update on the path to Gretzky. I put up. I didn't put up the books that I bought in that big storage bin find yet, but I did put up like 10 graded books that I got back. And I sold the Alex Ross Darth Vader variant. It was a 9.8 signature series, and I sold that for like $180. And I sold a couple other books, but so I'm starting to get some decent movement on this. As long as I put the stuff up, it sells. So Yeah, it's starting to move, so I'm liking it. Big shout out to Abe G if he's listening. Sorry I haven't got back to you yet, man. I'll hit you up. But I did get a couple pickups. I found a nice little dollar bin thing, and it was full of some Spider-Gwen stuff that I just grabbed, and then I found out it might be some decent books to pick up. No like major variants or anything, but origin story. It's like her first origin and some early appearances. Spider-Verse number 5. I picked up 2 of those for $1. I think this is her first origin story. So this is it's a really cool cover. It's got Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Gwen, Peter Porker, and a couple of the other ones on there. So it's a really cool team cover, which I like. So I picked up 2 of those for $1 a piece. And then
was that Spider-Man wearing like Arabian pants?
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. Yeah, I don't even know who that Spider-Man is. Maybe people in the chat could tell us which Spider-Man that is. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I can't remember. I don't know who this artist is, but I really like the art, so that was good. I picked up the Spider-Verse team up cover for $1, and I think that's an early appearance. And then I picked up a bunch of the other printings, like the different color, like the 5th printing, the 2nd printing, the 4th printing. The 2nd printing is the only one I think that has like a different cover, and it's the one where it like shows her costume, and they did.
Oh, that's the 3rd.
Yeah, okay, the 3rd. Yeah.
The 2nd, I think, was the blue, right?
I got this radioactive Spider-Gwen one for $1. And then I got a bunch of the Spider-Gwen number 1s, all different printings for $1. So I figured, why not take a shot at it? And then I have a set of these, but I picked up an extra one. Got it for $10. I said, why not? It's the J. Scott Campbell Emerald City Comic Con variant. And then this one is Spider-Verse number 1, and I don't know if that's anything. It just looked like a really cool cover. This to me is a really cool cover. I'm a big fan of Spider-Hulk. Obviously they only did 2 covers that I could think of, and it was the original, which was like Web of Spider-Man 90 or something like that. And then they did this Spider-Verse number 1 variant where it's got all of them in the background, and he was on there. So I picked up 2 more of those. I actually have a couple of them. And I like that because that's one of my all-time favorite action figures. I talked about it in the past when I went on the rant about all the Spider-Man toys and all that stuff, and how that's like a so you can get anywhere from like $50 to $90 if you're lucky on selling that opened. And unopened, it can get crazy. You can get it. Sometimes you can pick it up for like, $100, but sometimes you can sell it for 300, so. And then I just got lucky and found another first Jim Lee Samurai Santa. This is like my 3rd or 4th one. I pick these up every time.
Nice.
And then I got 2 cool Miss Marvel books. This is one I pick up every time. The Spidey Stories Miss Marvel, and it actually says, which is kind of interesting, it says Meet Miss Marvel. So I don't know if this is maybe something that came out around the same time as her first appearance or what, but that's a cool one. And then actually this was in the same box a couple books back, but I think it might be a reprint of that book I just showed you, and it's Marvel Tales number 196, which is featuring Sensational Spider-Man and Miss Marvel. So I picked those 2 up. But the 2 cool books that I want to show, I've already showed, and I might have showed this already, but I'm just going to take a chance if I didn't, because I like it so much. And I talked about it with Ben and John the other day after the show. I'm a big fan of collecting Uncle Sam books, anything with Uncle Sam. I like crazy prints and posters with Uncle Sam. And I was lucky. I was given this by a good friend, the Captain Marvel Adventures number 28 with Uncle Sam pinning on a medal to Shazam. So,
wow, that's a nice one.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. So I'm probably gonna end up sending that in. But I did get lucky, and I'm a big fan of creator firsts. I talk about it all the time, and I think I'm gonna do a little, when we start doing little snippets and little extra things for you guys. One of the things I'm going to talk about is show some of the cool creator firsts that I have. But this is the first Jock artwork, and I ended up picking up I think eight of these for really cheap. The 2000 AD first Jock artwork. So my only problem is, just like most people that get these British books, with the Warriors and the Deadlines and 2000 AD, they're freaking impossible to find bags and boards, and you kind of got to make your own. So I'm in the middle of figuring that out. So if anybody out there's got good ideas on how to bag those and good Mylars and boards, let me know. So
that's it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Very cool.
What's up?
Oh, I was just going to say, so McClay kind of briefly mentioned that we may be doing some extra videos during the week. Maybe, just, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, something like that. Just some extra information, extra content for everybody. So make sure you like, subscribe. That way you get notified, that something new came in, because it could be something really cool that you really can't find anywhere else.
Yes, sir.
Sounds
got
good.
some cool original content hopefully coming your guys' way.
Yes, maybe this week. Probably this week.
There we go.
If he doesn't get lost at Wizard World.
Yeah.
Or no,
C2E2.
C2E2. Hey, maybe I'll do something live on the spot.
That's even better.
So I wanted to see if I can share my screen here. Let's see here. So Brian is talking about some creator firsts, and shout out to Topher and Tim Walker. We kind of went down this path together a while ago, and kind of let it sit for a little bit. So I wanted to share it on the podcast tonight. Little Turtles history. So we're trying to find out the first time that Turtles actually appeared in print. Before TMNT number 1, we're finding Amazing Heroes. Looks like it's maybe the earliest publication as far as an advertisement. But I was looking around on eBay and I actually found that this Comics Journal number 89 was published in March of 1984. I just can't get a date. So I think we may have discovered the earliest print for Turtles. And I don't know the seller. I don't know, I'm not promoting them. I'm simply pulling this up to show you guys. So here's what the Comics Journal number 89 looks like. And so they just have a little Leonardo in there as a quick preview. So I don't know what other, journals and things existed around that time, but I'm thinking that this might be the first Turtle in print via advertisement. That was a cool little extra nugget thing that we found looking around.
That's interesting. I always thought it was that
Gobbledygook.
That gobbledygook.
Yeah. So that was May of '84, but there's I can't find a date. So if anyone knows like an actual date for that, that'd be good to know. But I mean,
nobody will certify that book, right?
Yeah, because there's too many counterfeits out there. So they won't. CDC won't grade it. But so that's what we found. So do with that information what you want. But I'm pretty sure that Comics Journal number 89 is the true first Turtles
Do you have any of those?
I do. Let me get my camera back up. Somehow, where'd it go? I lost it. Oh, here it is. Safely up here. Yeah, I do. I got one. So that was not my eBay link. But yeah, beautiful. Found a near mint copy, and
I was gonna say that's got to be oversized, and that all that black. That's got to be a nightmare for condition, right?
Yeah, definitely. I wanna get one or two pressed. If I can find a couple more and see if I can pull a Sean and get a 9.8 or 9.6 out of it. So fingers crossed. We'll see.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I know that there's a lot of people out there that can't stand it, and they kind of look at it like previews, first appearances. But I really enjoy collecting that stuff, and I'm the type of person that anytime I see a new, those type of books, when I'm going through books, I'll stop and flip through them just in case there's something in there I haven't seen yet. So
yeah, and I know CGC would never. Who knows what they would put on the label? Probably nothing, but it's one of those books that what's in there, so it doesn't matter what they put on the label.
Yeah, I mean, those type of previews are definitely a niche market, and they're not necessarily my thing either. But I mean, isn't pretty much everything in comics a niche market? I mean, variants. There's a lot of people that don't like variants. There's a lot of people that don't like Silver Age. There's a lot of people that can't stand Bronze Age. I mean, but there's other people that that's all they buy. So I kind of think comics in general are just kind of, some people only do independents, some people only do superheroes, and it's like, I don't know. I just think, I don't know. Just I don't like that people kind of bash other people for liking it. That's what you like, and that's, I mean, especially as a Turtle fan, I would think that that's something that. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, I love Animaniacs, and there's definitely nothing, that obscure Animaniacs wise, but I would probably want something, kind of random, of theirs that nobody else really has or knows about. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was neat. It was definitely neat to find and do the research and, poke around the internet. I was emailing people trying to find the publication date for that gobbledygook, and the actual date versus the month, and it's still kind of a little bit of a mystery, but it was fun. So a little trip down the rabbit hole.
That's generally not a place that you want to reside in.
I took a quick trip.
You may not be back.
yeah, definitely quick one there. I'm glad I stopped with the Russian Ninja Turtles before I started branching out too crazy.
Yeah, it can be nuts, that's for sure. But it can also, just check that stuff out. Like when you're going through those bins and those books pop up. You never know, might be something cool in there. This is kind of funny, but I was going through my local comic shop one time, bought an old backstock. And it included some old magazines, music magazines, and they were all this backstop was British stuff. So that's where I got like all my Deadline stuff and all my early Captain Britain stuff, which is right up my alley. That's the stuff that I enjoy the most. And I actually started looking through some of these old music mags, and it's funny because I'm glad I did, because some of these talk about like the first time where they talked about like Ministry and Al Jorgensen, and they have like in these old it was called, funny enough, it's called Trouser Press, and in the back of the magazine it would say like bands to look out for, that are new bands, that we're just hearing about. And one of the magazines had Ministry, and it was kind of, and first time like, and so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grab that. And then another one I found was the first time that talked about The Cure, and this is like in the 70s, you know what I mean? And I'm a big Cure fan, and so I grabbed that. So it even goes for me into stuff other than comics. So that's definitely another rabbit hole. So,
you know what's really funny is somebody on Facebook, which if you're not part of our Facebook group, get on the Facebook group. There is tons of discussion. Some
That's exploding.
It's huge. And all of a sudden, by the end of this month, there's going to be over 6,000 people in there. But there was a topic that somebody brought up that was like weird things on back covers. And it was funny as I was looking through some of my books here recently. And I do have a decent one with the Dead World 10 with the crow on the back cover, but I actually pulled out my Batman 608 second print, and on the back cover is a milk ad with Tom Brady. And I was sitting there in my mind, I was thinking, wouldn't that be an interesting signature series book to have Brady sign the back how often is Brady going to be in a comic book or even have an opportunity to sign a comic book? So I wonder if there's just some strange things on some of the back covers that you would never really pay much attention to.
Well, and I know this has been brought up before, but one of the books that I picked up in that British thing that I was talking about was I think it might have been Amazing Heroes #1, and it's got the Spirit on the cover, Eisner Spirit, and on the back it's the first colored Turtles. First time they ever did, and it showed them in color. So that's a cool back cover.
Which one was that? I'm sorry.
I think it's Amazing Heroes #1. It's let me see here. I got a picture of it. Let's see if I can find it here.
It's weird because you don't really, a lot of times you don't even see back covers. Like you go on eBay, you don't even see the back covers. There's a title, I think it was an Image title called Jingle Bell with Belle. And one of the issues, I don't know if it's the first issue or the second issue, the back cover is an Alex Ross full cover on the flip back side of it. So there's some interesting back covers out there.
I think there might be some Rocketeer stuff on back covers too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I was gonna say that the Elephant Man, the last issue of the Elephant Man was a Gronoff back cover.
Yeah,
I know that. You said it was Amazing Heroes, Brian?
I think that's what it is. Yeah,
because Amazing Heroes 45 is it's an ad in it, but its full color background is not that one. I wonder which issue it is.
I'll look it up here. I'll show you.
Yeah, see if you can find it.
It's
if someone even posted the back of it.
I'm sure there's people that are screaming it right now in the chat, but let's see here.
Ben, how are you driving to C2E2?
I am. It's only Chicago's only 4.5, 5 hours for me. So I'm just gonna get up really early Friday morning and head out.
Are you staying? Or are you?
Yeah. Actually, I was gonna stay. There's a hotel attached to the McCormick Center, and I was gonna stay there, but it was like, I don't know, $250 a night plus $65 to park per night.
Oh,
so yeah,
per
so
night?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Chicago downtown parking is
true.
Is idiotic. So I found a place more up towards the Riverwalk area that I'll just stay up there. It was only like $89 a night. So I'll stay up there and just take an Uber or something like that.
My wife and I went on a trip, and I was looking at prices for hotels, and we ended up staying in an Airbnb and saved a crap ton of money, and it was really nice.
I've never stayed in one of those, and where I used to travel so much, I got really all my traveling for work. I stayed at Marriott's every single time, and I just got real. I don't know if it's snobbish with where I stay, but like now if I don't stay at a Marriott, I feel like I'm cheating or something like that.
So since we're on the topic of random strange kind of books and appearances, I have one that I took a break trying to find it because I had it down here, but I think I took it upstairs to kind of pre-screen for my press pile, and I think I left it up there. But a fanzine, you got to be careful with this one because there's multiple kind of iterations, but it's called Alter Ego. And issue number 7 of the 1964 kind of series, I think it was actually put out in 66, is a black cover with a moon on it, featuring Shazam and the family fighting Black Adam. And the thing that makes this kind of unique is Black Adam only appeared once in the Golden Age in Marvel Family 1. So this is kind of only the second time he appeared anywhere. There's not a story in there. There's not a reprint or anything. It's kind of like this magazine does a history of the Marvel family and kind of their everything kind of happened in the Golden Age. But it predates the Shazam 28, which is next comic appearance by probably a dozen years or more.
Can we pull it up? Is it maybe on eBay? I could share a picture.
Yeah, there's
of it,
some on eBay. Yeah, definitely. Alter Ego number 7. If you put in 64, some will pop up. I've been trying to find these forever. You'll see a few on eBay marked really, really crazy prices, but it might be one that if you kind of stash into some magazines, you may find it.
Is this a full size fanzine or like one of the smaller ones?
No, it's full size. I mean, it's big. It's probably like a 48-page book. It's a little thicker. It's by Roy Thomas.
This one here?
Yeah, that guy. It's got like a paper.
It's 5.5 for you.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, they will grade it.
Yeah, somebody posted one on the pickups page at one point. I thought I had a really, really nice one I was going to grade. I have one that I sent to Sean to see how it presses. But it's got rusty staples. It's not like rusting the book, but the staples are enough rusty that I didn't want to send it in. Nice. But it's a cool little book. It's got a history of the Marvel family, and like I said, it's got a Black Adam. I'll call it a cover. I don't know what else to call it.
It's rude of him to throw fecal matter like that.
It does look a little rude. You do see some sales. Most people have them marked so high that nobody's buying, but I have seen a couple sell in the $200 range. Just because there's not that much out there for Black Adam before the modern age. Even in the Silver Age, he only appeared a couple times, or in the Bronze Age, he only appeared a few times. Be careful because the second version of Alter Ego, which is a little newer, you can tell it's got kind of shiny, more magazine style paper, but that features like a rough, I don't want to call it an homage, but it looks a lot like Marvel Family 1. It's got them standing there and the poses and stuff. So you want the one with the black cover and the kind of moon in the background. But if you find it, it's probably a nice little book that not a lot of people are looking for.
What's that Mary Marvel issue that's a homage to Loesch that you found?
It's WoW number 10.
Yeah. Have any of those popped up on eBay? I think I had it on a search for a while and nothing came up.
No, I've seen. I bought mine probably 2 to 3 years ago. I just posted it on Instagram, so if anybody's looking to see a copy, you can Google it and find it. But you won't find it on eBay. You can follow it, or you can find it on Comics Are the Norm. That's what I go by on Instagram. But it's a cool one. I've seen a few copies, the higher grade ones, like 6s and 7s. You won't find it much higher than that one, honestly. Pop up on Heritage once in the last few years, and then I think I saw one on either Comic Link or one of the other auction houses. So yeah,
here's a photocopy for anybody on YouTube. I bought a photocopy back when you shared that because I just thought it was awesome. I didn't care.
It's definitely, the pose is there. I don't know if he happened to mimic it on purpose or if it one of those things in the back of his mind or just coincidental. That's kind of a cool pose, but it's got that kind of pin up sitting down on a mountain look.
So I found that that first color turtle images. A lot of people think it's that Grimjack book. I think Grimjack 7 maybe. But let me I'll share screen real quick here. Let me do this. So it's New Age #1. Can you guys see that? So it's a really cool spirit cover. New Age Comics #1, and there's your back cover.
Oh, nice. I bought from that guy before. I know that carpet.
Yeah. So that's the book. That's a really cool book. For those in the chat that were talking about the music book, I can't find the Cure one, but here is the one I got with the Ministry one. It's Trouser Press, March of '83, and there it is. You know, talking about up and coming bands, and it's funny because it's got Ministry on one side, and then it's got Culture Club on the other. So yeah, it's kind of funny. And then on another page, it's got Depeche Mode. So those some of those bands are my favorite bands. I'm a huge Cure fan, Depeche Mode fan, Ministry fan. So that was really cool to see those.
You don't strike me as a Depeche Mode.
you know what's funny about that is when I was younger, that kind of was not my thing, and I got introduced to a band in the '90s called Far, which became my favorite band. And at that time, I was a big metal guy, into like Deftones and Sepultura and a lot of that stuff. And I got introduced to this band Far, and it's kind of funny for anybody out there that's fans of the Deftones. They know that the Deftones kind of their thing is, half of the band is really into metal and the other half is really into like Depeche Mode and The Cure. So that the Deftones, kind of brought me into being a fan of those type of bands. So I kind of learned that good music is good music. It doesn't matter, if there's a cross-dressing gay guy singing, So, but anyways. This is a comic podcast, so the New Age Comics #1 is a cool book to own, and you can find them really cheap. And I'm definitely going to be out there looking for that book that you showed there, Paul. The what was the title of that?
The Comics Journal #89.
Comics Journal #89. I will be looking for that.
Yeah, that's a cool one to have for me, and I'll keep an eye out for the that color turtle book. Tell me, I'm going to put in eBay. What was the name again? Sorry.
New Age Comics #1.
It is funny that we've mentioned two books with the spirit covers, whether they're books or magazines or whatever. That's a character that was so popular back in the day that is just irrelevant at this point. Nobody even talks about, looks at, does anything with. I mean, you could buy, other than the very, very early stuff, it's just dirt cheap, and it's just strange to see how out of favor something can go.
Ross is still doing those, right? Or he's still doing some of those?
Somewhat.
Some spirit?
I haven't seen anything.
I thought they were still doing some.
Yeah, I don't know when it came out, but I have a couple of the spirit ones.
Hey, Paul, am I on screen share still?
No.
Okay, good.
Nope, you're good. I put an offer in on that New Age.
Real quick, since we're kind of in the middle here, something that I want to do. One of the things that we've kind of been talking about on the show here and there is, in the cards, sports cards category and Garbage Pail Kids and all that fun stuff. We've been talking about, how it'd be cool to kind of, get old wax and open it up and, do it on show. And, Wood definitely, killed it with the box break on the Barkley rookie. And, He's been doing some amazing. I mean, everything he does on Simple Man's YouTube site is awesome, and the box breaks that he's been doing have been really, really cool. So just because it's a little bit short show tonight, or not as many guys on here, I pulled out. I want to try and do more of these where I'll buy some old card packs, some old wax, and open them live on the show and see if we hit gold. But this isn't gonna get too much gold, but it's definitely a cool thing to open. It is a 1986 4th Series Garbage Pail Kids pack that I picked up, and so we're gonna open it up live on YouTube. So here we go.
Some of those old graded Garbage Pail Kids in tin and sell for several $100s.
Yeah, they really do. And another thing that works really well is, or not works really well, sells really well, is some of the later series have airs. And I know one of them is there's one a Crystal Gale Garbage Pail Kid where it's named Crystal Gale, I think, and it's a snowman. I can't remember what series. There's another series where there's another air that sells really well. I'll have to look into those. I can't remember if any of them are the 4th series, but for those of you out there that always wonder why we call it wax, here's a perfect example. You can see the old top packs. They're made of, they have like a wax covering on there. And unfortunately, the problem with this is when you're opening up these old wax packs, is not only do you have to deal with the wax damage on the back card, but if there's gum on them, and depending how bad the gum stuck on the top of the pack, you can see the gum there a little bit. Mm-hmm. You also have to deal with the gum damage. So unfortunately, a lot of these old packs, at least 2 cards are damaged. And the thing that sucks with Garbage Pail Kids is Garbage Pail Kids, you only get 5 cards to a pack. So usually 2 cards are kind of destroyed. So here we go. And it makes it a little bit easy though because of the wax here. You guys can see, and I'll figure out a better way to do this as we go on. Maybe get have Wood learn me how to do it the Simple Man's way. But as you can see, here's the top card or the back card. It doesn't look like the wax is too bad. It actually looks pretty good. But you definitely want to be careful. Topps did something nice back then. They did this folding method, which not only makes it a little bit easier to open up the pack so you don't ruin the corners, or if there's some of them are damaged already, but it makes it so you don't ruin them more. And you kind of, with these old packs, you got to be really careful opening. But it also makes it easier to find out if you know what you're looking for, if your pack has been resealed, because the wax also made it easy to reseal packs. But as you can see, they folded stuff. They folded the packs a certain way, and if you know how those folds work, you can tell a little bit better if it's a good pack. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at that yet. I'll be doing more research once I get into some of the sports packs that we do, or if I open any, like 1st or 2nd series Garbage Pail Kids. But
McClay, everybody in the chat is wanting you to chew the gum. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I might pull it off. We'll see. We'll see if it doesn't fall apart. So, anyways, there's the pack.
Hundreds of pieces. So you wouldn't, if it's stuck on there, if it's a new pack, not resealed, like heating it up a little bit wouldn't help take down a little bit of that damage that could be
well
there?
It might, but you got to be careful, because if you heat it up, it liquefies it and then it runs over more of the card. So if the wax isn't really on the card very much, like it is on this one, it's almost like when you're pressing a book or a certain books, people out there are really good at cleaning books, and you use that it's like a eraser putty. I forget what they call that. But sometimes I imagine you can do that with cards, depending on the wax that's on there. There's ways to take off that wax without damaging the card, depending on how much is on there.
Yeah, you can get a lot of the wax off. It's I mean, it may not be as noticeable. It's hard to get it all off, but you can thin razor blade a lot, even a lot of it off.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. So anyways, here's the back card. It's Trashed Tracy. So that's actually a pretty cool card. I'll show you a better image of it once I pull it out here. But I wanted to show you guys the gum card. So there you go. As you can see, the gum kind of slid around and it ruined the back of that card.
Chew it.
Yeah, so we'll see here. We'll see. Maybe I'll at least take a quarter of a piece here just for Flipside fandom, right?
You should have had another stick of gum, like a fresh one on the side.
I know, right? I wasn't that smart. I wasn't expecting this, right? So let's do this here. So here is the gum card. Very cool card. Deadly Dudley.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's a really cool card. You know, a lot of people, know about Garbage Pail Kids, but they don't know the backlash that they were going through, when they came out, because Cabbage Patch Kids were such a big deal with, all these moms going crazy in the stores and, running over each other, and Garbage Pail Kids, kind of stole that likeness, and they took a lot of heat because they were really dark. And this is one of those ones. I mean, it's an old, medieval axe guy with a lot of body parts chilling and a lot of blood. So
gosh, I remember buying these.
Right, Deadly Dudley, and again, this is from the 4th series, the 1986 4th series, I believe 86, maybe 87. It says 86 on here, but I can't remember if that is the year printed or the year that they first, got them trademarked. So that, of course, is the gum card. So we'll put that down for now. Here's the famous wanted back cards, where back in the day, before we knew that these things might be worth some money, we would write, friends' names on them and stuff, and you would hand them out after you took the sticker off. This is a really cool 4th series card. It was one of the ones they put, I think, on a poster, because every box came with a poster, that said the series that the Circle K's or the 7-Elevens would put up in their windows saying they got the new series. This is number 132A, Bony Tony. So that's a really cool card. And you can see the centering there. We talk about centering a lot. You can see how off-centered that is. Top to bottom, from side to side. Garbage Pail Kids centering is such a huge thing. Centering is probably the biggest thing on, next to, it being, sharp corners and sides, but the centering is such a big deal in Garbage Pail Kids. So here's the back of the next card, which is kind of cool. And the art from a lot of these series is by an artist, I believe, by the name of John Pound. He did most of the Garbage Pail Kid art in those days. This is a cool one, 153A, Jack O' Lantern. That's a cool card. It's actually centered really nice. If you look at that one is really, really centered nice.
It's funny. I must have been buying them when this set was out, because I remember most of these cards.
Right. That's why we love these things. It takes us back to our childhood. So, and here's the other crazy thing that people might remember about Garbage Pail Kids. So you either had the wanted things on the back where you could write on them and hand them to your friends, or they had the puzzle pieces where you could put them together and make the big puzzle. And I believe that's where we know the Bony Tony from, because if you look, the Bony Tony is the back puzzle piece. So here is the last card that we don't know, and this is a cool one, really cool one. It's nice and centered. Horny Hal. And it's really nicely centered. So I'm really really happy for how good the middle cards came out. Very nice. And of course, this is the front card, that Trash Tracy, but this is a cool back. There you go there.
Oh, that's a
Mailman.
That's an Aussie card.
Aussie card. Yeah. Maybe I'll send that. Maybe I'll send that your way there, Z, and we'll hand this over to Ozzy.
He might need it.
You can write his name on it. So that's the last card, and I'm sure for all the Flipside fans out there, here we go. Let's get a little crazy. I ripped the gum off there. There you can see the back.
Oh God! Somebody pump his stomach.
So here we go.
I don't know that it's any. Is it any more stale than it was when we got it?
Oh yeah, I mean it might have some mold on there that I'm gonna try and steer clear of, but as you can, I don't want to. You can kind of. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Yeah, it's definitely rock hard, but it's full. So I don't know. Maybe that's worth saving. But screw it. Here we go.
Our dental plan doesn't cover a chipped tooth.
Yeah, you can turn your mic off, and
it sounds like a sweet tart.
You know what it tastes like? It tastes like those candy cigarettes, and
it tastes like childhood and dreams.
It does, and this is all for Tales from the Flipside and fandom and Garbage Pail Kid memories. So,
what are those spots on it?
Probably mold, and I probably won't be making it next morning. So if this is the last show, Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you. And Kyle, you can take my Hulk 181. All right.
Can I have the Punch 12?
It's yours. Everybody heard that. So, but there we go. So hope you guys enjoyed that. And there'll be more of those coming your way. Hopefully in the future, some more Garbage Pail Kids, some more old Topps football packs and baseball packs, and whatever we can get our hands on to just give you some more cool content.
Sweet. So I wanted to real quick run the raffle that we never got to like 6 shows ago.
It's only been 3, and I will take credit for 1 because I did the foreign variant and we ran long.
Oh, good.
One I'm going to blame on you.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll call it even. So, so here's our list. These are all of the entries that we gathered.
Thanks again to Ben C for this.
Yeah. So this is for the Knights of the Golden Sun CBSI variant.
comicbookinvest.com variant. Very cool cover.
So we'll give this out to you sold out. So we'll roll some dice. 9 times.
Yeah, I can't believe you still know how to do this.
I've been practicing every week.
He wants the Raz page to live again.
Yeah, exactly. It's the last one for a while. Check it. 9. Here we go. Jason Strong from iTunes, our only iTunes guy out there. Sweet. So, Jason, we'll get in touch with you or send us a message on YouTube. We'll definitely find a way to reach out, and we'll get that book to you, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. And for all you out there that like the show, please go and make some more reviews in iTunes and like and subscribe and help us out and to get this out to more people. And
we always have contests going on the website. I mean, it's rare to not see one these days. So keep an eye out and enter.
Definitely check out the CBSI swag page too. They've got some really cool stuff there.
Yeah, someone commented on Facebook, where can I get an awesome shirt? And someone replied. So thanks to whoever helped our other Facebook member out.
Yeah, if you haven't done so, don't forget Google Plus goes away in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're right.
Make sure you jump on one of our pages: Facebook, Instagram, MeWe, whatever. Get on one of them. We try and run most of our stuff through all of them. So if you don't like one, I mean, there's multiple options out there for you.
Yeah, the Facebook name is changed a bit. It is now CBSI Comics. So feel free to join. Just there also is a page that is not active anymore. There is a comic book speculating and investing page that was just sending out website updates. but we've conglomerated and kind of moved all our content and community groups to the CBSI Comics Facebook group.
Yeah, if it's got 5,000 plus members, that's the one you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So.
that $10 Comic Cop shirt is absolutely amazing. Definitely, if you haven't seen it, check it out and pick one up.
Oh, Jason, you can also email admin@comicbookinvest.com to get that copy out to you. So if you need that email to reach out to us, that's the best way as well. Thanks,
Hey,
Ben.
in fact, if anybody wants to send emails, Ben would love to see your emails. Come to admin@comicbookinvest.com.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
so our new top 10 writer will be revealed on Friday.
And for everybody's excited, it's going to be Paul. So, oh God, buckle in for a ride.
Oh, wow.
He might be the only person more dangerous than me with such power.
Oh, shoot.
All clown cover top 10, guys. Followed by the all shark cover and all crow.
Awesome. We got our first month in the bag.
Just take a little pause because I'm on gluten-free beer number 2. Actually, this is gluten removed, so it must have at one point had gluten. New Belgium Gluttony Pale Ale. Those of you out there.
How do you remove gluten?
I do not know. I think there's something. It's a amino acid or a protein or something. So I think they eat filter. I don't know.
So you got.
If you want to get really scientific, I do know the FDA ADA limit is 1 part gluten per 10 million parts per 10 million parts per, and this is a 20 million parts.
I figured you just,
and it seems pretty strong already.
Yeah, so yeah, I haven't drank beer in a while.
Mixed it with the swill that I used to drink, and then whatever they would separate, like oil and water, and then you just kind of pull it off, and that's the gluten-free beer.
I tell you what, Matt King,
I will say this is considerably better than the other one. So the New Belgium Gluttony is currently leading.
Matt King is just he's on point every time he's in the chat, and he really killed it with his he's 14 Zimas deep and not ashamed. So
normally it is seltzer water. So beer is a change. I have not done it in a while.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. I get to meet Matt King this week at C2E2.
Nice.
I get to meet him and Philip Chung and who else that I know that is supposed to be up there.
How will they know that it's you, Ben? You got any CBSI swag you're wearing, or?
I've got a couple shirts, but I've honestly thought about my wife has a Cricut to make T-shirts, and so I've actually thought about having her make me a couple T-shirts or something like that to take up with me. But
just put hot on the front and then 10 on the back.
I write the fucking top 10. Biatches.
I don't know if she would make me that shirt, but yeah, I mean, if anybody has any ideas about what would be a cool shirt to for her to make within the next 2 days.
I got one. I'm not allowed to say it, so I'll just type it in the chat.
Oh gosh.
Hey, Brian, do you want to talk a little bit about the Lego minifigures and then wrap it up for the night?
Yep. So I'm stealing a little bit of Scotty's thunder here, but one of the things that I've kind of been looking at over the years, every time I jump on Facebook, and I remember when I was a kid, just like a lot of us, Legos was a big deal, and I was always been a big space buff, so especially the Lego space stuff was always my favorite stuff. And I kind of was going through some old toys that I had as a kid, because I've been pulling stuff out of storage to start selling on my eBay store, which is quick plug. It's Collecting Daze, DAZE on eBay. So hopefully there'll be some toys showing up there soon. But I ran through a random tub of Legos, and we all know that the minifigure craze kind of got nuts the last, I don't know, 10 years, especially when Star Wars got into the fold, and some of those minifigures just went crazy. And then they started doing the minifigure, the little, rip-off minifigures that you can get from overseas that, look like Legos, that are every character under the sun. And, they do some really cool things with them, I'll admit. But the original ones are always my favorite. And some of the original ones are really cool. Like this is one of the original Space Guys, but I remember doing this as a kid. I added the little visor on there. And if you guys can see that, that's one of the original Lego Space Guys.
Awesome. Yeah, my brother has a huge set at an undisclosed location.
Yeah. And if you guys were big into the space Legos in the 80s, like I was, the early 80s, they came out with a little run of them called Blacktron. And one of my favorite Lego sets ever was a Blacktron set. But what made them really cool is they decided to give a new look and add these cool little visors to the Blacktron minifigures. And I remember being a kid and seeing these and just get blown away. And these are the Blacktron minifigures. And you can see they got this really cool visor. And as a kid, we used to take out the regular heads and just put in like a little black Lego piece that matched the head. So, there was just a little, nobody back there. And, they had the little black jetpack. And they were just, they were really, really cool. And so the minifigures of the Blacktron sets were amazing. But I'll do a quick screen share here. Let me go ahead and do this.
Those are all when you were a kid?
Yeah. These are from when I was a kid. This was my all-time favorite Blacktron set. It was the Blacktron Invader. And the cool thing about the set is, unfortunately, I don't have the picture to show you, but this set had a special thing that you could do. Lego made this special piece that you could, if you pulled it apart, gave it enough pressure to pull it apart, you could put it back together. It split in half. And this little back piece acted as like this little area would open up and it would unveil like a little base area. And then these little wings would move forward. And this whole thing would be like an extra little ship. And to me, this Blacktron Invader set was just was so cool as a kid. I'm actually going to hopefully be buying a set here soon once I find one for the right price. And if I get lucky, maybe an unopened one, because we collectors like having that stuff.
Did they make that same like back separate ship in a different color for a different style?
They might have, but
looks so familiar from my brother's old toys.
Yeah, they might have like done something similar. But this was just the set that blew everything away from me. And I was going through some stuff not too long ago, and one of the things that was really cool that I came upon was they've got the whole grading bug going with Legos. And we've talked about, of course, comic grading. We've talked about card grading. We've even got into video game grading and action figure grading. Well, this is something that's really cool. This is toygrader.com. It's they do the action figure grading, and this is the 1987 Lego Blacktron minifigure. And I just thought that displays so beautiful. It looks so good. And it's definitely going to be on my want list, something that I'm going to be searching out to find. Again, we're opening up a whole new rabbit hole to you guys and myself as well. And I'm sorry that we keep doing this, and hopefully it doesn't destroy your guys' pocketbook and bank accounts. But this blows me away where our collecting, the future of collecting is going. And yeah, it can get crazy and this and that, but any way that they can bring these old toys and these old memories out of us, I'm all for. So again, stealing a little bit of Scotty's thunder. I know he's always wanted to talk about Legos on here, and hopefully he didn't want to talk about these ones. So, but
that was exactly what he wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
you just screwed it all up.
I'm very good at that. I did that. I know I ruined DeVoe and Z's Spider-Man 2099 white cover fun. So I'll plan on doing that with the rest of you guys here soon once I figure out what you're looking for that you don't want to give up. So make sure you don't let me know.
So what was the first Lego licensed set?
You know, that's a very good question. I imagine, I'm going to stop sharing here. I imagine that probably was just the basic blocks. I know that they
had the basic blocks. What's the first one they licensed?
I know that they did.
Well, they didn't. The history of Lego, though, they weren't always the plastic shapes. Like I think I remember
candy, right?
Something on it. Well, I don't know if I meant the like building blocks wise though. They didn't have. I think so. Underneath the piece, they had something that they would go together, but they wouldn't hold. And then they changed in Denmark. They changed or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, they had a lot of sets of things, but
the only thing I think of is Star Wars.
Was it Star Wars?
Oh, I misunderstood your question. I'm sorry.
I think it probably was Star Wars. The ones that I remember as a kid, they had the space sets. They had the medieval sets.
Yeah, they used to just not be anything real. It was all their own property.
Yeah, they had like the ambulance sets and the normal like hospital stuff and but I don't know if anybody knows.
Ben C in the chat said it was Pluto. So maybe the Disney dog?
Brickopedia, which I didn't know there was such a thing as Brickopedia, says the first license set was a wooden toy named Wooden Pluto.
You're right then.
The first movie and TV based license were in 1999 Star Wars and Winnie the Pooh. After this,
Pluto like Mickey and Pluto, right?
Yes. Huh. Yes. After the success of these licenses, Warner Brothers decided to jump into the action. They introduced Batman in 2006.
Huh.
Yeah, so Star Wars Episode 1 were in 1999. Gosh, then in like 2001, there was Bob the Builder, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park 3.
Brian, did you see the link I sent in the
I did. I was just looking at it.
So speaking of those minifigures, though, there's a lot of so I don't know, when we first started this podcast, a buddy of mine was into Legos and like investing in them as far as, these ones are going to go out of print soon. So I'm buying a couple of these and here's the Christmas stuff. He just knew the market, like everybody's going to want this train and stuff like that. But he said that the market is kind of getting killed by the Chinese knockoffs, like Scott showed a while ago. And I know that on AliExpress, you can get a lot of those minifigures too.
That's kind of what I was bringing up, is about how they were making these, these ones from overseas. It's kind of funny because my mom, I want to say maybe this last Christmas, I tell my parents, not to get me presents anymore, but moms are. I always want to, treat you like a kid. So my mom usually would get me something that, harkens back to my childhood. And I remember she handed me a little box and I opened it up and it was full of like, 20 or 25 of those little knockoff minifigures, and she probably paid, like 50 cents or $1 a piece for them. They're super cheap. And I know that a lot of people are making good money off of them because especially in like the comic and the collectible stuff, what they're doing with them is they'll print out like little action figure backing cards, and then they'll put them in the little card, the clear sports card cases, and it'll look like a miniature action figure in the like the AFA box for Lego stuff. And they've got some really cool stuff that guys are doing out there and selling them. So I'm all for that. I'm all for cool stuff like that. It's kind of a bummer because the actual Lego brand minifigures are so expensive because they're so hard to get it. Especially some of the Star Wars ones are just because Lego, especially the big build sets like the the Millennium Falcon and those big sets are expensive. I mean, they can get up to $1,000 for a set. And some of those minifigures only come in those big build sets. So they make those minifigures worth a lot of money. And then even I remember when I was still going to San Diego back in the early 2000s, every year Lego would do like a special, San Diego minifigure. They did like a C-3PO that was like made of like real gold, and they were giving those out, and some of those ones are crazy expensive, and they did some really cool stuff with the minifigures, the actual Lego minifigures that are worth a lot of money. So that's kind of why I'm a little bit okay with the knockoffs. But
speaking of knockoffs, I have this random. Let's see. Let's see here. Present real quick. Come on, computer. All right, so there's Mega Blocks, there's Creo, there's like other knockoff brands now. But I was looking at piles of mine, and I was just looking up prices. I'm trying to move some stuff and get out of my my space. But this Mega Block set of Star Trek, the bridge. The focus is goofy. So there it is. So this bridge set I got off Amazon a couple of years ago, and if you look it up on eBay now, it's like going for crazy prices, like $200, like $400 is madness. So there's still meat on the bone for that market of Lego, also the knockoffs too. I know there's like
Creo.
Who knows what else?
Creo kind of grabbed a little bit of the market share, because for a long time, the Lego was only doing the minifigures, in the sets. And I remember, even back, 10, 15 years ago, Creo kind of said, okay, then we're going to start selling like blind bag, just figures for blind bag, packs for just the figures of Creo figures. And they did pretty well, and they had a lot of licensed comic stuff and a lot of really cool stuff that they did. So the Creo stuff is out there, and there's some Creo stuff that's worth some really good money. And also something cool real quick is these people that were part of like the knockoff stuff that did really well, that started selling stuff at San Diego and stuff, that make their own like mix of minifigures or Star Wars figures or G.I. Joe. So they're doing really well, and they got some really cool looking stuff that look really, really good, look like the original stuff figures that they make their own. I know there's the guy that walks around all the cons, as the hip hop Boba Fett guy. He's got his own figure that one of those companies made, and there's a girl that goes around dressed up as Slave Leia, but with the Boba Fett mask, that they did her own figure. And they did reprints of some of the Palatoy Star Wars stuff, the knockoffs, and some of the Action Force G.I. Joe figures that they did in Britain and overseas. And so that stuff's out there, and it's really cool.
Sweet. All right, you guys got anything else?
Just again, make sure you go to CBS or comicbookinvest.com. You can check out my Hot 10 list every week. You can check out a bunch of other really good articles. Some guys are doing some great work over there.
At the Reading Pile, Walker Report.
Oh man, there's so much. Oh, there's so much good, and it's so much. It's so diverse that you don't have to read everything. If you just like just one or two things, just read those, and you'll get a wealth of information.
Breaking news.
Big shout out to all the guys in chat. It's always fun to see a lot of the names in there that we all know and love, and it's always fun seeing Mel in there. And I love watching Matt Matt King do all his craziness every week, and it's very cool to have Ben C in there. So thanks, Ben, and everybody definitely check out the chat if you're not doing it.
Yeah, and
Philip Chung.
Old Tales episodes, Tales from Flipside episodes too. Watch us emerge, grow.
Yeah, let's get some shout outs to the people that were in the chat. We got Adam Lebednik. It's our former Wednesday One guy. Dennis Hayes. Who we got? Matt King, as you said. Ben C. Philip Chung. Comic Brains. Mike Zurcher, Ozzy. Who else we got in here? Mr. D. Mr.
Sleepy
Fordham.
John. Sleepy John in there.
Yep, saw him. Who else is Frank Lamar Jr.? Who else we got in here?
Mr. Fordham has been bit by the foreign comic bug after our episode a few weeks ago, so sorry to him.
Yeah, and I believe it was him that picked up if I remember correctly, picked up that the Black Panther cover. Is that right?
He got a Black Panther 1.
And this, for those of you guys that didn't see this, I can't remember if he posted it on the Facebook comic book CBSI Facebook page or where it was, but he picked up a foreign variant of the Black Panther #1 where they did something really cool that Matt, when he was on the show, kind of gave a little bit told us about that they did back then, where they redrew the cover, and they kind of did that on this cover, and it was really cool how they did it. It's not that great, but that's what makes it so cool is, they tried to do the Kirby cover themselves. And that's one of my all-time favorite covers, that frog cover for Black Panther #1. And they did a really good job with that cover. So just to make it look so terrible. So
cool. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate tuning in. And I was out of town last week, so it's going to be a double dose on iTunes and all those other places here soon. I'm going to mix up both shows tomorrow and publish them up. So keep an eye out.
Yeah, and again, don't forget, check this week. If you see something just with John Z's face, or just with my face, or Brian's, or any one of us, let us know what you think about those, because it's kind of something new we're trying. So we want to get some feedback. If there's something specific you want, I mean, each one of us kind of has like a specialty about what we know about. So if you think that one of us might be able to answer some questions or something in like a 5-10 minute video, let us know. We'll use it as content. So check back. Let us know what you think about those, and then we'll reconvene Avenger style on Mondays.
Yeah, and quick shout out to Blue Green Artifacts and 39 BKR.
All right, sounds good. Don't forget comicbookinvest.com. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.